Hello?
Hi.
Hi.
So sorry.
It's okay.
Are you able to see my screen now? Can you see my screen? Example number 1. Oh.
No. Blank.
Blank. What about now?
No.
Oh.
Yes, I can see it.
Any sign? Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay. This is an example is relating to how calculating first in, last in, and of course. So you can see based on example relating to Jones Ltd has the following movement in inventory movement. Okay, on different dates in the month of June. So you can see from 1st of June they received, it means they purchased 200 kg at the price per kg £4.50, and the total money they paid £900. Then on 2nd of June they purchased another 100 kg with a different price per kg. This time you can see different price. Okay, so they paid little bit more compared to 1st of June. Okay, so the total cost is 540. Then on June 3rd, they receive an order for selling 60 kg from what they have. So right now, up to 2nd of June, they have a 300 kg. Okay.
Yes.
Then on 3rd of June, they're receiving order for selling 60 kg. Now the question is, which method are we going to use? Okay, so we have
Yes.
three method. We have a three method, and asking you to calculate it for three method. So first of all, it says first of all, apply first in, first out. So first of all, it asks you to calculate cost of issue. So it means we're going to calculating cost of 60 kg based on the method first in, first out. So basically, which one is first coming in? Of course, 1st of June, it is the most recent purchase one. The most recent one is the 200 kg, which is the 1st of June. So first in, first out. So this is the first time it is coming to the warehouse. So we know the price per kg is £4.50. So 60 times 450 equal to 270 pound. Okay, so we're going to use it from 1st of June. So the second column, it says closing inventory. So it means we had a 300. From the 300 we sold 60, so it means 240 kg still in the warehouse, okay. So 160 from 1st of June, 160 kg from 1st of June times 450 plus the 100 kg from the which we have not touched it, times 550, it is equal to 1,170 pound. Okay, 1,170 pound. So so in another way, so obviously we can't say 900 plus 540, which is equal to 1,440 pound, minus 270, it is equal to 1,170 pound. This is for first in, first out method. Okay. So the second method, are you with me?
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay. So did you get
Yes.
my point?
Yes.
How we calculate it? Okay, great.
Yes.
Great. So for the second method, last in, first out. This time we're going to follow method number 2, last in, first out. So it means which one is last time coming in? So it means on 2nd of June, it is last time we purchased. So which we purchased 100 kg at the price £5.40. So it means we're going to take away 60 kg from this 100 unit, which the last time we purchased. So it means it is quite easy. 60 times 540, it is equal to 324 pound. 60 times 5 pound and 40p equal to 324 pound. Okay, so the second column asks you for closing inventory. So we sold 60 units from 300 kg we had, so it means still 240 kg in the warehouse, and you need to calculate it how much it worth. Okay, so 1st of June we did not touch it at all. We did not touch it at all, which is 900 pound. From the 2nd of June, 100. From the 100 we sold 60. It means 40 left. So 40 times 5 pound and 40p plus 900 from 1st of June, it is equal to 1116. 1116. Another word, you can say 900 plus 540 equal to 440 pound minus 324 equal to 1160 pounds. So there is two ways to calculate it. So in the exam, exactly you will have a similar question. In the exam, exactly you will have a similar question. So it asks you to calculate it first in, first out, last in, first out, and AFCO. So in this way, the question is going to be in this way. So when we move to the practical questions, practical assessment, so we will have a different question in different way. So the last method we're going to apply is AFCO, average. So basically from 1st of June and 2nd of June we purchased 300 kg, both of them at different price, and we different cost. So now we have a 300 kg and we paid 900 plus 540 is equal 1440 pound. So 1440 pound divided by 300 kg equal to 4 pound 8 equal to 4 pound 80. So it means 60 kg times 4 pound 80 equal to 288 pound. So the 4 pound 80, it is coming from these two. 900 plus 940 is 1440 divided by 300 kg is equal to 4 pound 80. 4 pound 80. So for closing inventory again, 1440 pound minus 280,152 pound. So the question is, as an accountant for this company, for Jones Ltd, cost of issue, which one is costing less, making more money? Costing less, making more money. So cost of issue, for example, is first in, first out, is more cheaper. For example, compared to last out, last in, first out, it is more cheaper, and you can making more profit because you can using first in that cost you 270. Probably you will sell it for 400 pounds. So it means you're making 130 pounds. But if you using a last in out, it means only making about 76 pounds profit. So that's why you have a different. Okay. Any question relating to this example?
No, thank you.
No. Okay, great. So on the second page, you can see the details from here. For example, how we calculated first in, first out. So for example, the 60 kg, if it is first in, first out, the first time we purchase 200 kg at £4.50, you can say 270. Then the total purchase with which we purchase 900 plus 540 equal to 1,440 pound. So minus 270, it is the cost of closing inventory in the warehouse is 1,170 pound. This is the way. Do you have this material, Emma?
Yes.
Or you have a book?
Textbook.
Okay. Okay, great. Okay, great. So this is the way. For the AFCO, you can see the total cost. Excuse me. Total cost of the purchase 1,440 pound. Divide by 3 kg, so £4.80. Then £4.80 times 60 kg, we received order for 60 kg times 480, it is 288 pound. Then the total cost of purchasing 1,440 pound minus 288 equal to 1,000. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so this is the second example. I think you did this example. I uploaded. And yeah, and now let us move to next topic in this chapter, work in progress. Working in progress, how we valuing working in progress. This is really important. Also, this task, you will have a question based on work in progress, and it is worth it about probably 8 to 10 marks. So this relating to work in progress. So as you know, this chapter is based on the valuing of inventory. So element of costing is mostly relating to a manufacturing company. So usually manufacturing company is dealing with a costing. For example, cost per unit, cost per production, looking at the raw material and this kind of stuff, and also looking at the labor, cost of labor. So when valuing work in progress or finishing goods. So for example, we are a manufacturing company, we making a furniture. So one of our product is table. We making tables. So we purchasing raw material as a wood. Our wood is going to be raw material, is going to be direct material used for making a product, making a table, making chair. Okay, so again, to making table or making any furniture, you have a main raw material, which is the wood, and you have a indirect material, for example, painting, for example, stapler, for example, glue you're using for the making tables. So this kind of other stuff we calling as a indirect material. So for material wise, we have a direct material, indirect material, direct material, indirect material. In terms of labor, we have an employee which their main job are making tables, making chairs. So this is their main job, day-to-day jobs. So they are direct labor cost. Indirect labor cost, for example, your supervisor, your line manager, the person who supervising the process or the production line. So they are indirect, okay, indirect labor cost. So now we have a two type of cost. One of them direct cost, including direct material and direct labor. Indirect cost, it means other costs. So usually indirect cost we calling overhead. So we have a direct cost or prime cost. So you know, in the bookkeeping transaction we have a different terminology for different things. For example, for trade receivable we calling as a sales purchase sales ledger, trade receivable, or trade or account receivable or account receivable. In here, in the costing, direct cost, it means prime cost. Direct cost, it means prime cost. Indirect cost, we calling overhead. Indirect cost, we calling overheads or other costs. Indirect cost, it means other costs involved in the production line, other costs. So this is the more details, you can have a look. Okay, so using the approach, each unit get the same level of the overhead. So we have a labor rate basis. For example, using the labor hour, cost of the labor hour, for example, making one chair, it require 3 labor hour. Making one chair, it takes 3 labor hour to making one chair. Okay, so this is you looking at the basic or basis rate or basic rate for one chair, which is require 3 labor hours. Okay, if you are production, probably is require 3 machine hour. Okay, 3 machine hour. So this is for labor wise. Okay, this is for labor. So always we have a machine hour or labor hour or machine hour. If the product involve handling physical human involvement, it is going to be labor hour. If it is required the machine, there is no any human involvement, then you have a machine hour. Okay, so you have a machine hour. So product to product, it's going to be a different. Some products require physical humans activities, and if some product is require only machine hour, does not need any human involvement. Okay, so we have a 2 type. Okay, so let's looking at example number 3. Let's look at example number 3. Okay, are you with me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, so we're looking at example number 3. It says Ariel Ltd. Limited company makes one product. The J, which is the product, each unit of J costs £3 for raw material. £3 for what? For raw materials, and it is required 2 labor hour to build. It is required 2 labor hour to build. Okay. So it means 3 pound for raw material plus 2 hours of labor hour. So how much we pay for basic rate for labor hour? It is 10 pound per labor hour, 10 pound per labor hour. Each unit of J also incur 1 pound of other direct cost. So it is require other direct cost. So we have a 3 pound for raw material, 20 pound for labor, because 2 times 10, 20, plus another 1 pound for other direct cost. So 3 plus 20, 23, plus 1, 24 pound so far. 24 pound so far. It is relating to prime cost. However, if you remember, I said we have a overhead indirect cost. So the company, they have a overhead indirect cost.
Sorry to interrupt. Chelsea and Young are trying to get on, but they need a link.
Oh, Chelsea, I will send a request to join, and Young also sending a request to join me. Accepted. Chelsea not. Thank you for letting me know.
Okay.
Oh. I can see Imyang, she accepted, but she cannot join it anymore. And Chelsea no respond. Is any way you can invite them, please?
I'm trying the same thing as you here, I think. Is there like a web link you could send them, perhaps, in an email?
This is, yeah, I'm trying to find the link. Web. Making details. Copy, join. Okay. I think. Okay, found the link. Yeah. I think this is the link. If I click on the link, Okay, that's it. Somebody join. I sent the link to Chelsea.
Okay. Has someone else joined?
Still join. Somebody else joining. No, there's no new sickness. I think yeah, in Young. In Young, she's joining us. Hello. She's muted.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Apologies. Sorry.
They were confusing. Yeah. Welcome to my. Yeah, it is. Don't worry. I recorded, so I record the session from the beginning, so you can go over again and listen to what we said and what we explained it. So can you see my screen now? Example number 3, please. Sorry, I'm going to cough. Hello.
Hello.
Can you see my screen, please?
I could see just your initials at the moment. Oh no, I can see it. I can see it now.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Okay. So basically, with Emma, we're looking at the second part of chapter 3, working in progress. Imagine you are manufacturing companies. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Can you hear us? Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can, but the volume's quite low. I can't hear you properly.
What about now? I'm going to shout. Don't worry. So we're looking at the second part of chapter 3, working in progress, valuing working in progress. So imagine you are manufacturing company, you're making a specific product. So the product is require raw material, and it also require labor or machine hour. Okay, so any product it require material, require labor hour, and also require overhead. Overhead, it means other expenses. So for the material wise, always we have a direct material and indirect material. Cost of direct material, cost of indirect material. Okay, so For example, if you are manufacturing and you are making a furniture, so you have a raw material as a wood is going to be your direct material to making chairs, to making chair or tables, and also you have a indirect material. For example, painting the wood, you have a stapler, you need a stapler to putting the table together, you need a glue. So this cost is going to be indirect cost of material. Okay. The second one is going to be labor. Okay, so every product it is require labor. It is require labor to build it up. For example, if we making chair or tables, so it is need a labor hour to building the chair and to making the tables. Okay, again, for the labor, we have a two type of labor cost. We have a direct labor and indirect labor. Direct labor cost, it is involve the person who is making the table. Okay, this is going to be direct labor. Indirect labor, for example, the cost of supervisor's wages. For example, you have a supervisor, and this supervisor is just supervising how the work is going. Okay, so this supervisor is responsible for a number of tasks, so that's why his or her wages is going to be indirect cost of labor. Okay. So if it is the product require machine rather than require human involvement. If you're making a specific product, the product is built through the machine, so you have a machine hour. You have a machine hour per product. Okay, so let's looking at this example number 3. This is a manufacturing company. They making one product. The product is calling J. So each product require 3 pounds of raw materials. Are you with me, everyone?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, great. So it is require 3 pounds of raw materials. To making one product, it require two labor hour. And the labor hour, basic rate of labor hour is 10 pounds per hour. Also, this product require 1 pound of other direct cost. So when I say direct cost, it means the raw material, it means the labor hour, and it means the other direct cost. These are going to be direct cost. Direct cost, it means prime cost. The main cost, prime cost. Okay, so prime cost, it is combination of raw material and labor hour equal to prime cost. Okay, so it requires 3 pounds of raw material. It requires 20 pounds of labor hour, 2 hours, and it requires another 1 pound of direct cost. So it means 24 pounds of prime cost. The prime cost is going to be 24 pounds. Also, it says overhead. Overhead, it means other expenses. It means overhead, it means indirect cost. Overhead. So it says the total overhead were 2,000 pounds. And 250 units were manufactured. So it means 2,000 pounds relating to 250 units. Okay, so if 2,000 pounds divided by 250 pounds divided by 250 pounds, so it means 2 pounds. It means 2 pound 50 divided by 250. So it means 8 pounds. The overhead is going to be 8 pounds. The overhead is going to be 8 pounds. Okay. So it now asks you, it says calculate cost per unit. We're making our product is J. To making one product, how much it costs? Excuse me. How much it costs for one product? For example, we know it requires 2 labor hours. Each labor hour, it is 10 pounds. It means 20 pounds of labor hour. It is direct labor hour, 20 pounds. Direct material cost, 3 pounds. This is 23. Direct expenses 1 pound. This is 24 pounds. This is 24 pounds. What is 24 pounds? 24 pounds related to direct cost or prime cost. Direct cost or prime cost, 24 pounds. However, we know it needs other expenses. Overhead, it means other expenses. For example, heat, light, electricity, insurance, rent. Okay, these are overheads. These are overhead. Okay, other expenses. Imagine if you're making this product in a warehouse, so you have to pay insurance for the warehouse, you have to pay rent for the warehouse, you have to pay heating and light for the warehouse, and you have to pay other things. Okay, administration, for example, you have a HR, you have a IT, for example, advertising. Okay, depreciation of the machine. So these are all overhead costs. So the prime cost is 24 pounds. The production overhead is 8 pounds, and the total cost per unit now 32 pounds. The production cost per unit is now 32 pounds. So to making one product, it costs you 32 pounds, which is a require material, require labor, require the other expenses, direct expenses, and require overhead such as rent, heating, light, insurance, depreciation, advertising, HR, human resource. Okay, these are the total cost of making one product. Okay, any question so far?
Hiya, what pages are you on now?
I am on page 56.
56, thank you.
Yeah, chapter 3, example number 3. Okay, shall I move on? Any question? Do you have any question? Any question?
No, thank you.
No. Okay, great. Okay, so I can move on. Oh, Victoria also. Okay, so let's move to next question. Let's move to example number 4. let's move to example number 4. Different example with a similar requirement. Different example with a similar requirement. This time it is Tempest limited company makes one product. Okay. The product is calling P. The product is calling P. The product is calling P. Hi, Victoria. Can you see my screen? Are you able to see my screen, Victoria? No.
Hello.
Hi, just waiting for Victoria to joining us. Give me a minute, please.
Okay.
Give me 1 minute, please, if you don't mind. Okay, so let's move to example number 4. Example number 4 is a similar example. This time is the product is in P. Each unit of P costing 18 pound, 18 pound of raw materials, 18 pound of raw materials, and it takes 4 labor hours to build. It requires 4 labor hours to build. The labor hours cost is £7.50 per hour. £7 per hour. So remember, this is a basic of labor hour. This is basic rate labor hour. £7.50. £7.50. Because sometimes you have like a overtime. or you have a weekend. So in chapter number 4, we will talking about the labor hour in terms of the additional hour or overtime or bonus or weekend, night shift. So you have these different rates, but at this stage we only have a basic rate. It is the basic rate for the labor hour, £7.50. Also direct expenses, £2 per unit, £2 per unit. Okay, £2 per unit. So so we know how much raw material require and the cost of raw material, £18. We know it needs 4 labor hour, and each labor hour £7.50. And we know the direct expenses, other direct expenses is £2 per unit, £2 per unit. Also we know the overhead, other expenses is £20,000 per 1,000 labor hour, per 1,000 labor hour. So obviously we have to calculating the overhead. Okay, so the question is asking you calculating the cost. It asks you to calculating the cost per unit, asking you to calculating the cost per unit. Okay, cost per unit. So in order to calculating the cost per unit, obviously we know the direct cost of direct labor. Direct labor is 4 times 750 equal to £30, which is this is cost of labor. Material, we know it is £18 of material required of material. Direct expenses, we know it is £2. So prime cost, it is going to be £50. Prime cost is going to be £50. It's going to be £50. Then production overhead, it is going to be £80. Okay, it is going to be £80. So how they calculated £80? How they calculated £80? Because it says the overhead £20,000 for 1,000 labor hour, for 1,000 labor hour. So it means for each labor hour it is £20, because 20,000 divided by 1,000 equals 20, and we know product P require 4 labor hours. It means 4 times 20, it is £80. So £80 it is going for £50 is going to be prime cost, and £80 is going to be overhead cost. So it means cost per unit to build is £130. So this is your cost. This is your cost. So the reason for calculating cost per unit or cost of the production, it allows you to know what is your selling price. It helps you what is going to be your selling price. Probably your selling price is going to be £200. Okay, this is your cost of production. This is cost of your production, £130. So you need to calculate how much it sell it for. Okay, this is the way we calculate it. So it is quite clear. We have a raw material, we have a labor hour, then we have direct expenses per units, then we have a overhead. So overhead, and we have a overhead. So let's move to example number 5. Let's move to example number 5. So I already uploaded one question for you. And I will uploading some more question relating to work in progress. So you can do it later on, like tomorrow or over the weekend. over the weekend. Okay, so I don't want to rush because we have a plenty of time. I already uploaded scheme of work, so I allocated 10 session for this unit, 10 session, which is a 5 chapter. Each chapter we're going to finish it within 1 week. So hopefully we will completing this unit by mid of February, and hopefully we're going back to college sometime after Easter. So the exam straight away, I will book the exam straight away after returning back to college. So we will have a plenty time to looking around the practice assessment. The practice assessment, it helped us a lot to learn more about this unit. Okay, so let us looking at example
Sorry.
number. Yeah.
So our exams not on February then? Is it gonna be
No.
after March?
No, the exam is going to be when we're going back to college, and we will go back to college sometime in April. So the exam is going to be in April, not in February.
Because you sent the email scheme of work, it says exam on the 16th of February.
No, this is bad if it is no lockdown, but the problem of the lockdown is the exam is not going to be in February. And to be honest with you, I'm not sure whether the college is able to booking any exam. I'm not sure, but I must completing this unit sometime in February to ensure we are over of everything. We are top of the everything. We are in the control. Okay, we are in the control.
Yeah, well, that's quite complicated module. That is.
Yeah, it is. It is, unfortunately. So nothing we can do about this lockdown. And
Fine.
I do not enjoy teaching online at all. And I am sure it's the same for students. Anyway, but we have to move on. Okay, example number 5. Storm Ltd makes one product. The product is calling product D. Each unit of D costs 12 pounds of raw material and takes 3 hours of machine. This time no labor hour. This product does not need labor hour, it requires machine hour. So it takes 3 hours of the machine time. 3 hours of machine times to build. Okay. The labor cost £4.50 per hour. Also is required labor hour £4.50, and 2 labor hours are required for each unit. Direct expenses are £3 per unit. Direct expenses are £3 per unit. So we have a raw materials, we have a machine hour, we have a labor hour, and we have a direct expenses. So this particular units, this particular product require raw material, require machine hour, require a labor hour, and require direct expenses plus overhead. So this time it says the overhead £12,000 for 1,500 machine hour. So we need to calculating overhead per machine hour. Okay, and this product requires 3 machine hours. Okay, so let's first of all let's focus on how to calculating the cost per unit for each unit of product D of each product of. Okay. Okay. So so first of all, we're going to calculating cost of labor. We know this product require 2 labor hour, and the basic rate of labor hour is £4.50. So £4.50 times 2 equal £9. Then direct material cost, we know it is £12. It is a required £12 of raw materials, which is going to be direct material. And also we know direct expenses. Is £3. Direct expenses is £3. However, so we now know our prime cost: direct labor, direct material, direct expenses. Remember, prime cost equal to direct labor plus direct material plus direct expenses equal to prime cost. So always you calculating labor, material, direct expenses together, which is prime cost. If you remember, for bookkeeping transactions, we said revenue or sale minus cost of sales equal to gross profit. Gross profit minus expenses, it gives you net profit or net loss. So step by step. So the first step, we need to calculating prime cost, which is involving direct labor, direct material, and direct expenses. Okay. Secondly, we're moving to calculating overhead. We know they have a 12,000 as an overhead. So the cost of the overhead is 12,000, and 12,000 is relating to 1,500 machine hour. And this product requires 3 machine hour. So 12,000 divided by 1,500 times 3 machine hour. Okay, so which is equal to 24 pound as a cost of overhead. So cost of the overhead is 24 pound. So the total cost per unit for this product D is 48 pound. 24 pound for the prime cost and 24 pound for the overhead. So 24 plus 24 equal 48 pound, which is the total cost per unit. So always remember, prime cost equal to direct labor plus direct material plus other expenses, other direct expenses, which is the prime cost. So prime cost plus overhead equal to total cost. So if somebody asks you what is total cost, it means prime cost plus overhead. Prime cost plus overhead equal to the total cost of the product. Okay. Any question about example number 5? Any question? I think it is straightforward. It's not that difficult. Only remember, direct labor plus direct material plus direct expenses equal to prime cost. Then prime cost plus overhead equal to total cost. Okay. Any question about example number 5? Any question about example number 5?
No, thank you.
Okay, all right, great. So we can move on to next. So now the last section or last part of this chapter 3, total cost and cost per unit. Total cost and cost per unit. This is also is really important, this topic, the total cost and cost per unit. So we know how to calculating the total cost. Total cost, it means prime cost plus overhead. It means total cost or cost per unit. Okay, total cost. So remember, fixed cost does not change and it does not associate it to the level of the activity. If you remember from chapter 1 and chapter 2, obviously is about the fixed cost, cost behavior, or cost behavior. So is fixed cost is one of them. So we have a fixed cost, we have a variable cost, and we have let's go just to remind you about the cost classifications, if you remember cost classification. So if you remember cost classification which is chapter 1, I already uploaded this on Google Classroom, and it's really important. This piece of the information is really important. In the exam, you will have a question relating to cost classifications. It is about 4 marks. And it asks you to providing an example, for example, of the element of cost. What is element of cost? Or what is the nature of cost? Okay, so it is multiple choice. It is about 4 marks, and you will have it in the exam. So for example, cost behavior, we have a fixed cost, variable cost, and semi-variable cost. Fixed cost does not relate to level of activity, no matter your level of activity, it is 1 or 100, the fixed cost is fixed, it's not going to be changed, such as insurance, such as rent. Variable cost related to level of activity, If level of activity increase, the variable cost increase. If level of activity decrease, level of variable cost will decrease. So variable cost have a direct relation to level of activity. Semi-variable, it is equal to fixed cost plus variable cost equal to semi-variable cost, okay, equal to semi-variable cost. Stepped cost, it means the cost of production, it will increase at certain level. For example, you are responsible for working 35 hours per week. So if you work more than 30,
could you explain me about semi-variable cost, please?
Semi-variable cost, it means fixed cost plus variable equal to semi-variable. Fixed cost plus variable equal to semi-variable cost. Okay. So imagine.
Is the fixed and plus variable is total cost, is it? No.
Sorry?
fixed cost plus variable cost equal total cost or semi.
Semi variable cost, it is always fixed and variable, both of them, because sometimes you have a both cost. So fixed is different, variable is different, but semi variable, it is going to involve in the both of them. It is involving, for example, cost have both variable, the cost of both fixed and variable. Okay, for example, cost of electricity for the factory, including fixed standard charge, including fixed standard charge. Also, if the level of or using of the electricity is go up at certain level, so the cost also increase. Are you with me?
Yeah.
For example, you know, car insurance, they put a box in your car insurance, and you says, I am going to using my car, says 15,000 mile in a year. Okay, so if 15,000 mile is go up, so the cost also is go up. So you can see you pay for fixed. The fixed is 15,000 mile. However, if you go up above 15,000 miles, so your cost increasing. So you see, based on the level of activity. If level of activity at certain point is go up, so cost is increased. Excuse me. Is that clear? Is that clear? Hi, is that clear?
Yes.
Okay, great. Great. Let's go back and remember, I already uploaded this sheet, and it's really important because I did it manually. This is what I did manually for other students at Digbeth, so it helps you to understand it. Okay, let's go back. So, so now we know the total cost, and we know cost per unit. Okay, how we calculate it, and both of them is excuse me. So let's looking at example number 6. So example number 6 is relating to the Ambitin Limited Company, manufacturing company. Obviously, is they make a product TGH that has the following cost structure. That following cost structure. Okay. Total overhead, fixed overhead is 50,000 pound. Material is 30 pound, and labor is 10 pound. So you have your fixed cost or fixed overhead, then you have a material, then labor. So it says complete the table below for the production of 5,000 units. 5,000 units. Okay, so we're going to making 5,000 unit and calculating the cost for the 5,000 unit based on the information it provided. Is based on the information. Okay, so first of all, we're going to calculating direct material. First of all, we're going to calculating direct material. So direct material is going to be the total cost is 150,000 is going to be 150,000. How we got 150,000? Material is 30 pound per unit. So we going to making 5,000 units. So it means 30 times 5,000 equal to 150,000. Equal to 150,000. This is the direct material. Direct labor, we're making 5,000 and require the labor hour is 10 pound. 10 pound, so per unit 10 pound. It says cost, variable cost per unit. Variable cost per unit. Variable cost per unit. So 10 times 5,000 equal 50,000. Okay, then fixed overhead is already provided for you, is 50,000 pound. Okay, 50,000 pound. So the total cost of making, total cost for making 5,000 units are 250,000 pound. 250,000 pound. So it mean cost per unit is 50 pound. Cost per unit is 50 pound. So how? Material 30, labor 10, 40, 10 pound for the overhead fixed, 50 pound. Okay, so it is going to be, the total cost is going to be 50 pound for 5,000. Hello.
How do we work out unit cost for the fixed overhead?
Fixed cost for the overhead is we pay 50,000.
Yeah.
50,000 we paid. This is fixed for 5,000 units. So 50 divided by 5,000 units equal to 10 pound.
Oh, okay then. Thank you.
Yeah. Any more question? Any more question relating to example number 6? So now we are moving to next stage for manufacturing accounts. Manufacturing accounts. Also, manufacturing accounts. This is one of the important topic in this unit. Is manufacturing accounts one of the important topic, and I can assure you, if you control chapter 3, it means you are controlling element of costing, because chapter 3 is having some important topic, especially inventory valuation, including first in, first out, last in, first out, and AFCO, also work in progress, and also manufacturing accounts. These are very important. Okay, these are very important topics from chapter 3. So it says manufacturing account typically look like this. Okay, imagine you are having a company, manufacturing company. You making, says you making any product. Okay, any particular products. So always you need a material. For example, you're making socks, you're making a t-shirt. Okay, always you purchasing material, always you purchasing raw material. you have to ensure that you have enough raw material to making a product and you are not running out of raw material. So always you have a warehouse, and in the warehouse you have a raw material. Okay, so from these raw materials you're making a product. Okay, you're making a product. So always you have open raw material. Open raw material, it means the materials are available in the warehouse. Materials available in the warehouse. This is going to be opening raw material, opening inventory of raw material in the warehouse. So say, for example, you're making shirt, you're making shirt, and you're receiving order for 10,000 shirt, and you have some raw material in the warehouse, but you need some more raw material to completing the order of 10,000 shirt. So you already have some raw material in your warehouse, then you're going to purchase additional raw material to completing the order of 10,000 shirt. Excuse me. Then after you making 10,000 shirt, so for sure some of raw material it will be left in the warehouse, so you are not going to using all of the raw material exactly. So some of your raw material is going to be left in the warehouse. So whatever is left in the warehouse we calling closing inventory or closing raw material. So making a product, we need a material. Okay, always you have a opening material, opening inventory, then you purchase additional inventory to completing the order. Then when you completing requirement, you have a closing inventory. So in this example it says we have opening inventory is worth £7,000. Then we purchase additional raw material of 50,000. Then after we completing the order, we have 10,000 of raw material as a closing in the warehouse. We have not touched it, so probably we will going to use it for next order. We're going to use it for next order. Okay, so direct material used is going to be £47,000. How? Open plus purchase minus closing. Always closing is mean minus. Close, it mean minus. Open, it mean plus. Open plus purchase minus closing inventory, it gives you the cost of of material. Excuse me. Then we have a direct labor. Remember, direct cost or prime cost. Direct cost or prime cost, same meaning. Don't be confused between direct cost or prime cost. Same meaning. Okay. So it means direct material plus direct labor equal to direct cost or equal to prime cost. So also for making 10,000 shirt, we need a labor hour. So the labor hour is going to be 97,000. So your prime cost is £144,000. £144,000. Again, this is only your prime cost. So it means you have an additional cost. For example, the overhead, manufacturing overhead. What is manufacturing overhead? To remind you, it is, for example, insurance, rent of the factory, rate, heat and light, advertising, cost of human resource, cost of IT. These is going to be overhead, other expenses. So so the manufacturing cost is going to be 197,000. 197,000. Okay. So the next one is going to open inventory of work in progress. Open inventory work in progress. So this is additional opening inventory. It is in the process, in the progress. Okay, it is in the progress. Remember, I said we receive order for 10,000 shares, and these 10,000 shares you need to purchase the raw material. You already have some raw material. Probably, if you're making same product, so you have some product already made, and some of them is left. So you have a manufacturing cost, so such as the opening inventory for work in progress and closing inventory of work in progress. So always open is plus, close is minus. Open is plus, closing is minus. So what it gives us, manufacturing cost, it gives us plus opening inventory in work progress minus closing inventory in work progress. It gives us cost of goods manufactured. Cost of goods manufactured. Okay, so it means it is cost of cost of the goods manufactured, which is we made. So the additional, we have an additional two more thing, which is open inventory of finishing goods. Always open is plus, and minus closing inventory of finishing goods, 25,000. Okay, so cost of goods going to be sold. Cost of goods going to be sold is 200,000 pounds. If you remember from the bookkeeping control, and bookkeeping transaction, we say we have a revenue or sale, then we need to calculating cost of sale or cost of goods sold. This is the way we calculating cost of goods sold. Okay, this is the way calculating cost of goods sold. Okay, so if we go back, how to calculating direct material used, so which is the opening inventory plus purchase minus closing inventory, then direct added with the direct labor, it gives you direct cost, then direct cost plus overhead, it gives you manufacturing cost plus opening inventory in progress minus closing inventory of work in progress, it gives you cost, of goods manufactured, then plus opening inventory of finishing goods and minus closing inventory of finishing goods, give you 25,000 pounds. So I already uploaded a question similar to that to Google Classroom, and I would like you go through it, that question, and try to solve it in this way. It is going to be solved in this way. This question is really important, and you need to understand it and put it in your mind. It's really important. It is worth it 10 marks in the exam. This typical question is worth it 10 marks in the exam. Okay, 8 to 10 marks in the exam. Imagine, it's not easy, but it is important. Okay, and if you try it 1 more, 2, 3 times, it will become easy. Okay. So let's looking at the last example. Let's looking at last example, example number 7. Example number 7. Let's look at the last example, example number 7. It says, reorder the following costs into manufacturing account format using the pro forma table on the next page. On the next page. Okay. So we have a, as you can see, it is not in order. As you can see, it is not in order. So we have to following this layout or this structure or format on page 61, on page 57. So we have to do it in this way. First of all, we're going to calculating cost of material. First of all, we're going to calculating cost of material, direct material, cost of direct material. So if you remember, direct material involving opening inventory of raw material plus purchasing minus closing inventory of raw material minus closing inventory of raw material. So it means 90,000 of opening inventory of raw material plus purchasing of raw material 216,000 minus closing inventory of raw material 117,000. Okay, then we will add labor. Where is direct labor? This is direct labor, 252,000. So 242,000. So you can see opening inventory plus purchase of raw material plus closing inventory, it gives you direct material use 189,000 plus direct labor 252,000 equal to direct cost 441. Okay, so direct cost minus what? Minus opening inventory of work in progress. Okay, work in progress 86,400.
So we need to add overheads first.
Yes, sorry. Thank
Overheads
yeah,
first.
yeah, we have to adding the overhead. Thank you very much. Then it gives us manufacturing cost. So manufacturing cost plus opening inventory of work in progress minus closing inventory of work in progress. Okay, so it gives us cost of goods manufactured. Then cost of goods manufacturing plus what? Plus where is it? Plus opening inventory of finished goods minus closing inventory of finishing goods. It gives us the final figure, which is cost of goods sold. Okay, so you will have exactly very similar question in exams. It worth 8 to 10 marks. Okay, so that's the end of chapter 3, and this is the summary of the chapter. So we have 3 type of inventory, raw material, work in progress, and finishing goods. Okay, then to calculating raw material or to valuing our raw material in the warehouse, we have a 3 method: first in, first out, last in, first out, and AFCO. Okay, this is used to valuing our inventory in the warehouse. Then work in progress and finishing goods valuation. We're looking at the overhead. We're looking at the overhead then divided by number of unit. For example, cost per unit, rate per labor hours, or rate per machine hours. So we did 3 example that overhead was based on the cost per unit, based on the labor hours and rated machine hours. Okay, so it is important to remember these. This actually is a method in order to allow you to focus on the right direction of the question. So please, especially manufacturing accounts, it's really important, and you have to do it in order. You have to do it in order. So I uploaded the questions of the just let me share it with you. I'm going to finish very soon. Okay, so I uploaded this. What is it? So I uploaded this question on Google Classroom. I would like you go through it and please do it in the way how we calculated the manufacturing cost. So it is really important, this particular question. So I already uploaded to the Google Classroom. So I would like you go through it and do it, complete it, save it on your computer, then re-upload it, or you can do it straight away on the sheet which I share it with you. So this is the question I uploaded for you. Please go through it. And thank you very much for your engagement. Really appreciate it. I am really sorry for the beginning. I don't know what's going on with my internet. It does not working very well with the Google Classroom, but it is working on Microsoft. Do you have any question for me, please?
No, thank you.
No.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I already recorded this session, and with your permission, I will upload it for the rest of the students. So there is no any personal details or anything. So
Okay.
just yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, and I will see you next week on Tuesday.
Thank you.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Bye.
Thank you very much. Bye bye. Bye bye.